I've been praying so hard that they actually find Crystal, and I don't know what I'm going to do, but I have to know where my daughter is.
Right now tonight at 6, Sherry Ballard has been searching for her missing daughter, Crystal Rogers, for the past 6 years. Tonight, she says she's hopeful that this search involving cadaver dogs, the FBI, could be the one that brings her daughter home finally. Hello, everybody, and thanks for joining us. I'm Doug Prophet. It is a story WHAS 11 News has followed since day one of her disappearance in July of 2015. And now, once again, the FBI is back in a Bardstown neighborhood. Special agents searching with a cadaver dog, digging up front yards. WHAS 11's Shane McAllister has uncovered the neighborhood, has ties to main suspect Brooks Houck.
It's been more than a year since the FBI put their investigation into the eye of the public. But this roadblock and the dozens of special agents working beyond it today are showing the Ballard family and the Bardstown community they aren't giving up. A view from above of the work underway. FBI special agents laying tarps, digging in front yards, collecting possible evidence in the search for missing Crystal Rogers.
The FBI will always tell me, don't get your hopes up, because they don't want to give me false hope, you know, that because they don't know what they're going to find. So I think about that, but then I think God can make anything happen. So I'm going to keep my faith, and I'm going to pray that they find my daughter today.
Less than 2 miles from the search, Sherry Ballard sat at home, waiting for updates. She says she's familiar with the area. She says she's searched it before.
We had a cadaver dog hit on a dirt mound. We didn't find anything. But the fact that they're back searching in that area tells me maybe we had a clue, but we just couldn't find what we were looking for.
The FBI says it was tips and investigation that led them and a cadaver dog to the Woodlawn Springs subdivision. But a quick check of public records revealed it could be something else. Houck Rentals owns 3 properties in this neighborhood. Brooks Houck, the main suspect in Rogers' disappearance, is listed as the agent on the business. Neighbors told us Houck was doing construction here at the time Rogers went missing.
It's time. It's past time, and I'll deal with whatever I have to deal with, but I'm ready to bring my daughter home. I've been ready, you know. I knew from the moment she went missing that she was not coming back. It's
been 6 years since Rogers was last seen alive. This isn't the first search for her remains, but Sherry Ballard says
it's such a letdown when nothing happens.
She hopes this search could be the last. The special agents tell us they plan to be working until after dark, but as is common with big investigations like this one, we may never know what, if anything, they found here today until much later if charges are filed and it comes out in court. In Bardstown, I'm Shane McAllister. Sherry says the property investigators are focused on right now is the same property where her search team, Team Crystal, got a hit from a cadaver dog 5 years ago. Now back here at the roadblock, we're about 5 houses away from that search, and the FBI tells us there is still a lot of work to be done. We don't know how late that they'll be working into tonight. We don't know if there even could be a day 3 of this search, but Doug, of course, we're staying right here. We're keeping an eye on it.
And of course, Shay, as you showed us yesterday, the cadaver dogs were brought in again for this search. Now, the search last August was very different from the one we've been watching this time around, and even today. What differences have you seen that indicate they may be heading down a new, more specific direction?
All right, Doug, so when you think about 12 months ago, last August, that search was massive. We are talking dozens and dozens of special agents at multiple different locations. They told us they were going to be interviewing hundreds of witnesses. I mean, this was a large-scale operation, and there was no clear focus. 12 months later, today, they are focused on one property, and more than that, one specific spot on the property. Actually, we've learned it seems to be the driveway. Here in the last 30 minutes, we've seen a construction truck pulling out with loads of slabbed concrete that really looks like it could be a driveway. They could be working under that driveway right now. Doug?
All right, interesting development there. Thank you very much, Shay.
And right now you are taking a live look at just some of the materials that have been driven off from that search site today. It started last night. It happened all throughout the day today. And we have seen concrete, gravel, dirt, massive mounds behind me. Get this, we are less than 2 miles from the search site in a public park, Dean Watts Park, just right across the street from the subdivision. Obviously, the FBI parting ways with this material, leaving it here unwatched by anyone, but there's a lot of it. That also tells us there has been a lot of work done today, and it's not over yet. In that statement the FBI released earlier, they said that they will keep working here in Bardstown as long as it takes. Live in Bardstown, I'm Shay McAllister.
Shay McAllister, thank you very much. Now on day 3 of our coverage there from Bardstown, which will continue, by the way, on the night team here at 11 o'clock.
Breaking news at noon, the FBI has announced after searching for 4 days, they have recovered an item of interest in connection to the Crystal Rogers investigation. Thanks for joining us here at noon. I'm Kristen Goodwillie. Shay McAllister is back in the Woodlawn Springs subdivision. She joins us now live with this breaking development. Shay?
Well, Kristen, of course, right off the top, this is huge for this case. This is a huge moment for the Ballard family and the Bardstown community as a whole. Everyone has been waiting on pins and needles, hoping that something would come out of the search happening right behind me, right behind this roadblock. And of course, today we have learned something did come out of this. Let's take a look at the statement that was released on social media by the FBI just about 90 minutes ago. It reads, as the FBI begins day 4 of the search at the Woodlawn Springs subdivision, we have recovered an item of interest. The item is being further evaluated, and we will release additional information as it becomes available. We know there are individuals in the community who have information on Crystal's disappearance. Now is the time to come forward. Of course, it reminds you to visit the task force website or call 502-263-6000 to report a tip. And Kristen, I think there are 2 major takeaways here. First, this search is fruitful. This search is providing important information. We learned that when they say they have found an item of interest, they say they're further reviewing it. We don't know what that item is or what it could mean for the investigation. We're hoping to learn later today. But additionally, there is a special message in that statement that is calling on anyone with any information to come forward. It says now is the time to tell the FBI what you know. That is a message we are reading as specifically directed to people here in Bardstown who may have known what happened to Crystal Rogers back in July of 2015. A lot of action here at the roadblock today, but let me tell you what it actually looks like. It's mostly community members stopping by to give these deputies food and water and Gatorade. You can see it's actually piling up behind them. So much support here at the roadblock, so much support for this search. Bardstown is a small community. Bardstown is a tight-knit community, and we are seeing that day in and day out here on day 4 of this search. Everyone hoping that that discovery this morning is going to bring answers in this case. Live in Bardstown, I'm Shay McAllister. We begin our broadcast live from Bardstown, where the FBI is on day number 5, searching for clues leading to Crystal Rogers. This search was supposed to begin and end on Tuesday, but it has extended day after day. And new tonight, police say they will give $25,000 to anyone who provides information leading to the identification, arrest, and conviction of the person responsible. On day 5 in Bardstown, FBI special agents started their search early, and Nelson County Sheriff's deputies joined them.
We will have guys here, and they'll be here until the FBI tells us they're done. We're here for the long haul.
24 hours after announcing they found an item of interest, the FBI says they have received a flood of tips. They also announced new reward money in the case, saying they know someone out there has specific information about Crystal's disappearance and wants to do the right thing. It's the only new information from the agency on Saturday, though we have noticed a change in what's leaving the neighborhood. The movement of dirt and gravel from the site of the search has seemingly slowed. Friday, a dump truck made multiple trips every hour across the street. Saturday, we didn't see that truck at all. What is happening at the site of the search remains largely a mystery. Our last look showed heavy machinery digging deeper and deeper beneath the concrete. That driveway was removed earlier this week after a cadaver dog hit on the spot. Family says every day the search is extended, so is their optimism.
I'm ready to bring my daughter home. I'm ready for that. I just hope emotionally I can handle that.
Now Sherry says she's waiting for the call, hoping the FBI finds the information they need to bring her daughter home. As the sun starts to set on a fifth day of searching in Bardstown, we still have no word on if the FBI will be back for a day number 6. What we do know is this has been an incredibly long and emotional week for the people who live in this community, for the family of Crystal Rogers and her very close friends who are surrounding me right now, Team Crystal. Guys, what's your gut feeling? Is there answers on this property? Are there answers in this neighborhood?
I personally think so, yes.
I do too. I really do.
You think that the FBI is onto something here?
I do.
And today they announced that they will be giving out $25,000 to anyone who can lead to answers to an arrest, to a conviction in this case. Do you think that that will help? Do you think more tips will be coming in?
I think a lot of people are going to start talking more simply because, oh wow, we're right here at the end. Maybe I should say something that I've known all along that I was too scared to tell before. You know, even on Team Crystal, people were sending us messages, you know, and I'm like, why wait now?
Pretty incredible.
Anything.
Pretty incredible. Anything helps. You can report tips right now at crystalrogerstaskforce.com. Thanks for joining us at 6:30. We'll see you again tonight on The Night Team. Thanks for joining us here at 6:30. We begin our broadcast tonight live from Bardstown, where we are following the latest on the FBI's efforts searching for clues leading to missing mother Crystal Rogers. Now on day 6 of a search that was expected to begin and end on Tuesday, emotions are running high for everyone involved. Beyond the barriers in Bardstown's Woodlawn Springs neighborhood, FBI special agents continue the search for clues leading to Crystal Rogers. For Team Crystal, every day this week
Instantly start crying because, you know, you have that big thing of hope.
brings a new emotion.
And then you go through being mad, thinking, you know, how could anybody do this to somebody?
The search started early Tuesday when FBI brought in a cadaver dog, and then they started digging. Our view from the Sky 11 drone showing special agents and forensic experts focused on the front and backyard. By Wednesday, the search had narrowed to the driveway. Dump trucks carrying large loads of concrete, dirt, and gravel across the street and dumping it at Dean Watts Park. Thursday, the first update from the FBI, the federal agency announcing the search had no timeline. And then 24 hours later, big news, an item of interest discovered at the site.
I'm getting goosebumps. And at the end of the day, like I said, it doesn't matter who solves it, as long as it gets solved.
This isn't the first time this property has been searched. Years ago, Team Crystal brought a cadaver dog to the same property, formerly owned by Brooks Houck, according to public record.
I think the answer is here. I think they finally got all the resources in one spot, and, you know, this very well could be it.
Now, the FBI offering $25,000 in exchange for information leading to a conviction in the case as the sun sets on the search for a 6th day. And that site is now under 24-hour surveillance. Join me now live to shed some light on the security and why it is so important. Nelson County Sheriff Raymond Pinarella. Sheriff, thanks for joining us here. Let's start by talking about the security. Who's involved? Why is it so crucial?
We have multiple agencies that are involved in the multi-layer of security to keep the integrity of the scene that they are searching.
We know yesterday the FBI announced a $25,000 reward in this case. In your experience, why does an agency do that? You know, what can be some of the benefits there?
Some of the benefits is for somebody that knows something to come forward and let us know what they know, or to put pressure on a certain individual to possibly do the right thing.
Well, we have seen an incredible outpouring of support for the community. A couple people coming here who aren't supposed to, but mostly people coming to drop off water and food. People care a lot about this. Why is the community so invested in this search?
It's been 6 years, and not only that, but they've been invested in searches and in different aspects of this individual case itself, and they're seeing a lot of movement. It's rare that you see an agency like the FBI show up with 150 agents a year ago to a one-day search, and now we're going into day 6.
Why do you think people feel the need to come out here and check it out?
Some are being nosy, and some just want to see what's going on, try to see what they can get, and they're then turn away.
What would answers mean to the people of Bardstown?
A lot. It's a crucial thing that the public, law enforcement, and especially the family wants. It's closure, and that's what we're after.
Excellent. Thanks so much for taking the time with us today, Sheriff.
No
really,
problem.
really appreciate it. And thank you for your hard work here at the Roadblock. As you know, there have been so many signs of support for the Ballard family for this search over the years, from t-shirts to yard signs, but now we're seeing something new. Take a look. This is the most recent. This picture now spreading across social media with Crystal's face, the crowd from the very first prayer vigil in the background, and the words, "The time for justice is now." Remember, you can report tips in this case online at the Crystal Rogers Task Force website or to the number at the bottom of your screen.
It is a big development that we brought you first live at 5 o'clock as Shay McAllister was actually on the air with her 7th day of reporting from there. Shay is going to break down more on what the FBI said, and also that the search is also going to be stopping for a bit. Shay?
Doug, right. So we're learning because of this rain and the storm on the way, the FBI will be suspending their search efforts until this weather passes. I actually talked to the sheriff earlier today just to ask him about searching in the rain and how it would work. He said it's definitely not ideal. At that time, he told us he thought that the FBI may try to expedite their efforts, but now we've learned the search will be suspended. And Doug, just moments ago, we saw the FBI evidence truck actually rolling out of the neighborhood for the first time since it arrived 7 days ago.
Well, Shay, let's go back to that statement from the FBI, also mentioning now several possible items of interest, findings from the site. What have you learned about that?
Right, Doug. Well, I think that the best thing to do is look right at the statement, taking the words from FBI. Let's take a look. So the actual statement reads, multiple items of interest have been uncovered. Initial analysis shows they are potentially relevant to the investigation into the disappearance of Crystal Rogers. The items have been sent to the FBI lab for further analysis. And Doug, that FBI lab is in Quantico, Virginia. That is their main evidence lab where they are sending the most important pieces of evidence uncovered all over the country. We now know multiple items from here in the Woodlawn Springs neighborhood are on their way or are already in Virginia undergoing that analysis. I also just talked to a spokesperson with the FBI trying to find out what the plan was for the site while they're gone. At that time, they told me that there is a plan in place for security measures, so this search site will be protected until FBI agents return. Reporting live in Bardstown, I'm Shay McAllister. The FBI spent 7 days searching on a property in Bardstown from sunup to sundown. They recovered multiple items of interest, and you guys had tons of great questions about the search. I sent them right to the FBI. Let's check out the first question. It was, what happened to the people who lived in that house? Were they able to still live in it while it was being searched? The answer is yes. The FBI says they did not make them leave, and those people have no connection to the case. The federal agency used a search warrant to get access to dig up the property. Question number 2, what about that property? Who's going to pay for the repairs to that front yard and the driveway that are completely torn up? The FBI says they're going to be picking up the tab. Here's a quick look at just how extensive the dig was by the end of the week. The entire front yard and then the entire driveway from the street to the garage has been dug up. The next question, question number 3, is this the first time this property has been searched by the FBI? The answer, yes. I also asked if any other Bardstown properties were searched in connection to Crystal's case during this most recent effort, and the FBI said yes. The most asked question that I've received, is the FBI also working on the other unsolved cases in Bardstown? The agency said yes. They said they are collecting evidence and tips in all 4 cases. They also have previously said answers in one case could bring answers in all of the others. Kristen?